Tarte Waterproof Eye and Cheek Palette. I had a couple people ask to see the palette in action, to see how I used the colors and how the colors went on. So that's what today's video is going to be, just an easy eye look, and then I also am going to use the different cheek products from this palette so that you can see how the palette can work together. So if you'd like to see how I completed this look, please keep watching. I'm going to start the look with the shade Parasol, which is a shimmery pink with a slight iridescence. So I've just tapped my brush in just one time because this shade is quite reflective, so I don't want too much on my brow bone. So I'm just going to place it, kind of stamp it right underneath the highest point of the arch of my brow, and then just kind of pat it in right here. I'm taking that same Parasol shade and I'm taking on a smaller brush and I'm just going to put it around my tear duct. Now in my crease, I'm taking the shade Sun Deck, which is a great matte crease color, and it's the lighter of the two that come in the palette. So I'm just kind of started out by wiggling it in this outside corner and then bringing it up, and I'm kind of almost going for a little bit more rounded of a shape with this look. So just kind of starting from this outer corner and then bringing it up rounded and then all the way in. Moving on to my lid, I'm going to take one of the more interesting shades in the palette called Bikini, and this is a gold, but it has a slight pink duochrome that is really neat. So I'm taking that on a flat shader brush, and I'm just going to press that all over the lid. With that same brush just flipped over to the other side, I'm going to take Barefoot, which is a shimmery nude shade, and I'm just going to put this on the inner portion of the lid. And then when it gets time to blend them together, I'm just going to flip my brush back and forth, and that's just going to be the quickest way to blend them. Now I want to go in and add a little bit of definition to the outside corner and into the crease a bit. And for that, I'm going to use the darkest shade in the palette, which is Hammock. And that is a deep, dark, chocolatey brown. So I'm going to just dip a crease brush just lightly into the product one time, and then if I need more, I can build up as I go. So I'm going to start by patting my brush in this outside corner and then bringing it up above the crease. And I've relaxed my eye because I want to make sure that this color is going to show when my eye is opened. So just kind of working this almost in a little kind of C shape right here above the crease and just slightly bring it in. I'm not going to bring this as far in, really just trying to create some definition in the outside corner. So once I get this placement, then at that point I can go in and grab a little bit more and build this up to the intensity I want it. Now that I have Hammock placed where I want it, I'm going to go back with the fluffy brush that I used to apply Sun Deck and kind of just blend those two shades lightly together. To add some color to the look, I'm going to take Poolside, which is the teal with some gold shimmer, on a large pencil brush and apply this to my lower lash line. And as I apply this, you'll be able to see that Poolside is a little bit more sheer than the rest of the shades. For me, I think that works nicely. If I put something like too pigmented, it can look a little bit harsh on my lower lash line. But this is really pretty shade. But if you wanted it more pigmented, you can apply these shadows wet, or you could put down a similar liner and then put Poolside over top of that liner. Using Poolside on that large pencil brush gave a little bit of a diffused look to my lower lash line, but right at the base, I want the color to be a little bit more saturated. So I'm going to take that same Poolside shade, but this time put it on a small, dense smudger brush. And I'm just going to place this right up at the roots of my lashes just so that that teal is a little bit more pigmented there. This is the eyeshadow complete. So now I'm just going to add a black gel liner to my top lash line, a nude liner into my lower waterline, and mascara, and I'll be right back. Here are the eyes complete, and I paid special attention to my lower lashes because I think that blue is just so pretty peeking out of dark lashes down the bottom. So I'm going to back up just a little bit and we're going to move on to the cheek products that come in this palette. I'm going to start with Park Avenue Princess, which is the bronzer that comes in the palette, and I'm not taking a lot because this is a very pigmented bronzer and I'm applying it with the Real Techniques blush brush. So I'm getting a little bit of product and then tapping it off, and I'm going to start back here, and I'm not really contouring with this bronzer, I'm just warming up my face and just kind of keeping this out to the perimeter. I'm taking a tiny bit of the highlighter called Champagne on the Real Techniques contour brush. I'm not taking much of this at all because I'm actually going to work after I do this, so I don't want to be too shiny. So I'm just going to place this on the tops of my cheekbones and then start blending it in, but once I apply the blush, that will fully blend in the highlighter. Last, I'm taking the Blush and Captivating. This is one of my favorite items in the palette, on a large blush brush. And usually when I apply blush, I start back here, but for some reason with this blush, I like to apply it right at the apples of my cheeks and blend backward. And I think it just gives a little bit of that just came in out of the sun look. So I'm going to apply it right here and then just start blending it backwards. To finish the lips, I used one of my favorite lipsticks right now, and this is from Too Faced, and this is one of the La Creme's in Juicy Melon. So this is the finished look. I hope it was helpful to see all the products applied, to see how they went on and blended out. If you missed my review video, I will put that below, and in that review I did lots of swatching. So I hope this video was helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.